The Warhammer Twitter post that confirmed it was always canon was by a wagey intern from Nottingham University, who also blocked all those people. The 4chan leaks about it were fake.
Do you trust your source?
I do. It's my general policy that if I don't believe something, I don't back it.
Hi guys, and welcome with me, the 40k Empress. We have news/rumors about female custodies again, and this comes from Twitter actually. Now, the other day I had a stream with my friend Kid, and one of you in the live chat told me that there's a post on Reddit that's basically a screenshot from a Twitter post that says what actually happened with the female custodies. The account in Twitter is from Marshall Bohemond, and actually, as always guys, I tried to go and actually talk to him instead of just presuming stuff or whatever. And of course, if that happens, and it did happen gladly, get to actually hear the real person. I'm giving the chance to the real person from which this is coming from to just state their points and let you guys decide whether or not you want to believe him or not. So it's up to you, up to your own judgment. So guys, now you're going to hear what Marshall Bohemond said himself about this. This is the post, whatever he said in the post about what actually happened at GW quarters and how this whole thing came about with the female custodies. And then also you're going to hear my brief interview with him.
Here's what actually went down with 10th edition Custodes at Games Workshop, according to sources. It wasn't Amazon, it wasn't the GW higher-ups, and it wasn't the lore writing team. It was an editor who changed some pronouns around because he was under the impression no one actually read the lore and could get away with it. He approved it for printing after his little stunt, which was done purely to troll. Alcohol was probably involved. That Spanish rag spotted it almost instantly, and it caused an internal crisis at GW. Roundtree is notoriously against DEI garbage in Warhammer 40k, and they use AOS as a dumping ground for it to appease investors. They know they can safely put it there, because AOS is unpopular. The Warhammer Twitter post that confirmed it was always canon was by a wagey intern from Nottingham University, who also blocked all those people. They were an obnoxious lefty according to sources, even by the standards of your average Warcom intern. Roundtree was going to stage a meeting to formulate a response and retraction before things got out of hand, but then the intern in charge of the Twitter account went AWOL. Roundtree was apparently furious. Heads rolled due to this incident. Several people have been let go from Games Workshop. Amazon is probably highly confused by all of this because they've received so much hate mail blaming them for the incident that they had to actually answer with people and not canned AI responses. Much as I hate to defend Amazon, they're blameless in this situation. All reports after the incident show the Custodes boxes gathering dust on shelves. The editor's little trolling attempt did more damage than the bad rules ever could. The 4chan leaks about it were fake. Workshop continues to have a left hand that doesn't know what its right hand is doing, and now it's bit them right in their stock values and cost them dearly on what was supposed to be a tentpole faction release. CEO was big mad. People got fired over it. You're under no requirement to believe any of this. I don't know where GW will go from here. Either way, the situation is hilarious.
Do you trust your source?
I do. It's my general policy that if I don't believe something, I don't back it.
That is good if it's true. It's kinda better than what people thought, although it's complete hands-off of their own product details. To me as a fan, I can only hope that GW will take some more conscious effort and not be that incompetent.
GW's always been incompetent. I've been into 40k and other GW games for decades, and this kind of bungling happens quite often. Authors not communicating with each other, plans built on shaky connections like the Cursed City debacle, and occasionally someone goes AWOL hard enough or comes up with a stupid enough idea with no one to check them, that incidents like this happen.
Yep, I know. This time is on another level, to the point where some are thinking that 40k is Star Wars levels of woke, which it isn't.
Yeah, I'll try to correct people like that, but if they don't want to listen, I'll just brush them aside. I'm getting way too old to be partisan regarding 40K anymore and apologizing for when my own side act like idiots.
I totally understand your point. Many authors are also inserting random wokeness in some of the novels. So based on your rumor, does that mean the GW are also negligent when it comes to their novels? Or is this on purpose? What do you think from your perspective?
The way I see it, GW tends to leave the authors to their own thing if it's not fucking with the lore and as a result, their bottom line. Like, I'm not gonna get mad if, for example, a trans character is mentioned. Neither would GW. If someone tried to imply a Sister of Battle or Space Marine was trans, when gender lines for both are very specific, they would pull the leash and say no to the author. As an example, Aaron Dembski-Bowden infamously got the leash tugged when he tried to make female custodes a thing all the way back when he wrote Master of Mankind. Josh Reynolds made female space marines and implanting women with gene seed-derived augmentations a point in the Fabius Bile trilogy, and as a result, his contract with Black Library wasn't renewed. He was gone before the third book ever released. Mike Brooks is another example. They generally give him stuff that isn't very popular, and he puts tons of political cringe in his novels. Infamously, he had a non-binary character kill a stand-in for Carl Benjamin, Sargon of Akkad. But when put on the important stuff, they tarred wrangle him. Lion, son of the forest or Alfarius, head of the Hydra are good examples, where he had to keep his woke tendencies to a dull roar. He's generally not a popular author to begin with outside of the high-profile lore stuff like Lion and Alfarius. Essentially, after a while, you can identify the problem child authors and the patterns of how GW handles things emerge.
So guys, what do I think about this? Well guys, I wouldn't put it past GW for something like this to be the case actually, because from everything that we know about GW, it kind of seems like they could have some form of neglect when it comes to the details in their novels, at least to a point, because there's so many authors that work for them. And I would totally direct more resources to reading all of that and checking for some particular things, or just setting some rules so all the authors can follow those rules and making sure that none of this can ever happen. But I don't know how it actually is at GW, but if they don't have such a system, they actually do allow such things to happen because really, well, neglect, lack of resources, which once again is a neglect for one or another reason, they do have to do something to correct this, because this was a huge scandal and it did leave a stain on GW for some people, even forever. Some people are really so resentful towards GW that by this point they don't want to touch GW with a 10-foot pole. I myself cannot actually buy anything from them because they're so expensive. Everything that I have it because it's a gift. So even if I want to invest in any of their products, I can't. So outside of that, I do think that GW are putting people on a lot of pressure when it comes to the prices that they already raised. So that is also one thing. I don't think that the way that they are measuring who is copyright infringing on their products is exactly fair or completely objective. As we discussed in the Aim and G video, it's an unfair, unobjective system that's supposed to judge other people and have pretenses on what they can or cannot do with some of the characters of GW's IP. So I think that a lot of things could be improved. That copyright system, in whatever direction it could be improved to benefit the company and the consumer, the fans. You know what I mean, to benefit everyone. They also have to get a grip on the stories, on the characters, make sure that they have integrity, make sure that they keep them as they are, not as whoever author or editor wants to interject anything else in them. I mean, that is something that GW should do anyway. They should really have a closer eye on all of their novels and all the codexes. I mean, that's the fabric of the lore. It is everything that people actually are getting hyped about. People actually are caring about the lore. Yeah, there are some people that just play the tabletop without actually caring much about the lore. They just enjoy the game. But it is very awesome, and if it gets ruined, it's gonna get ruined forever for most people. And when you see how things are with Star Wars, guys, the Acolyte poops all over it to the point where it made Star Wars absolutely a laughing stock. It made it out of proportion, ridiculously low quality, and now once again Star Wars is forever with a tarnished image in front of absolutely everyone. And mind you, 40k is not on that level yet, so we can still fight for it and we can still show what we actually think about what is happening in GW. So maybe, just maybe, they can take some measures. I just think that in any case, GW can improve, so we can all be happy and none of this can happen. And actually, this is very good art. The Patreon is down there if you can see it, if anyone is interested in this person's art. Yeah, that's a really good art. It's just that female custodies are not supposed to exist at all, not even a little bit. So to me, this is fanfic in general. And it is a fanfic if some editor just took the liberties and actually did that. Let me know what you think about this. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? Do you even think it to be feasible? Do you think that it's possible that all of this could be true in actuality? Because if it is, it's kind of better, because Amazon, maybe, just maybe, are going to do a good show the way that they did Richer and some of the other shows. So there have some shows that they really did right, and have some shows like Rings of Power that they did so wrong. There's some glimpse of hope. I won't write off the future Amazon shows or anything else that I have not seen. So I always say just wait and see and judge it by its cover. Maybe in time this rumor is going to prove to be true or not. We shall see, guys. But in any case, do let me know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to support me, links are down below into the description. I'm doing my educational content, you know where, at the forbidden site that everyone thinks that only Slaneshi content exists there, but that's not the case. You can absolutely do normal content there, is the way that I'm trying to do. Some physique updates and teaching fitness, health, nutrition. I'm helping with your personal relationships. If you have any issues with whatever intimate relationships or even relationships between friends, your fitness journey, your fitness struggles, your diet, whatever it is, guys, I'm there for you if you'd like to support me at least in this way. And thank you so much to Marshall Bohemond for responding to me and giving me this interview. Thank you so much. With me, the 40k Empress. Till next time.
I am Rogaldorn, Primarch of the Imperial Fists. Subscribe to the 40k Empress for more honest Warhammer 40k content, or I will fortify your bathroom.